Hey guys, good morning. It's Tina. So I recorded chapter 3 earlier on, but I felt like I needed to go back and explain a little bit because I didn't want to be or feel insensitive to this kind of wound or violation from women who've had to endure this. It's a terrible, terrible thing, and we grieve with you and we hurt with you. So, but this chapter is, out of all the chapters, a perfect example of how when we've been hurt, what we do with the wound really truly matters. And those of us who are involved in the wound, like you'll see in chapter 3 with Dinah and her brothers, we can take that, because when people in our family have been wounded, or people, our friends, have been wounded and hurt in this way, we hurt too. We feel violated too. And we can take that hurt and that wound, and we can turn inward, as you'll see in this chapter, that Dinah gets lost in this wound, or we can be like the brothers who take vengeance and act out, and then the victim becomes the perpetrator. And it's a perfect example of how when we've been wounded, it can shift, and we can be the one to act out. We can be the one to hurt other people. So I want to go ahead and dive into the chapter, but I just wanted to make sure that you understand that we're so sensitive to this kind of wound. And on Friday, our Freedom Friday, we'll talk more about really how to find freedom for when you've been violated in this way. And I share a little bit in this chapter, so check it out. Thanks. Hey guys, it's Tina again. So now we're at chapter 3, and oh, this is a tough chapter, especially if you've been violated in some way. And I know I share my own personal story about that in chapter 3. So for those of you ladies who have been violated in this way, we just want to say, oh, our heart aches with you. Our heart aches so much with you. But I know personally from that experience that you can find freedom and healing. So if you're to a place where you can't get through the chapter, please come back and visit it at a time when you can and work through that. I promise it'll be the best thing that you've done in your life, is to try to move forward and plunge through this wounded time. So Dinah, this young beautiful girl, I just imagine her being a young teenager, and she had a lot of brothers. I can relate. I have 8 brothers, and she had a lot of brothers, and the only girl in the family. And so when they settled in this town, she decided to go in and visit with women. And I just can imagine her longing and yearning to be around other women and other girls her age, really. And so as you dive into the chapter, I want you to just visualize this innocent young girl going into this town, and then she's violated in such a terrible, horrible way. And so as you read through the story, you come to this place where you see, first it's talking about Dinah and what happened to her, and then suddenly there's a shift in the story. Suddenly there's a change. And what happens is the focus suddenly leaves Dinah, and then we're focused on the brothers and what happened with the brothers and what they did because of their sister's violation. And it's so true in what happens in today's world. Women get wounded or violated in this way, and then suddenly we're like a little balloon that drifts out into midair, and suddenly we get lost. And that's what happened with Dinah. And I don't know if you're like me, but I'm one of those who can get involved in a really bad movie and turn it away from it for a while, and then come back, and I keep coming back, all because I want to know the ending. I need to know what happened to the end. What happened to this person? And I was kind of like that in the story of Dinah. I was saying, hey, what happened? What happened? What happened? What happened to this young woman? What happened to her? Her story gets lost, and she just sort of fades away into to this violation into her wound. And so then it shifts to the brothers, and we see how vengeance takes over and how victims become the perpetrators now, and such a terrible act of hate and anger was done to so many innocent people, all because of someone's violation. And I learned that hurt turned inward is anger. That's what it is. That's what anger is hurt turned inward. So what we do with our wound and what we do with our hurt matters. It really does. We can take it and we can hide and we can drift away and never be seen again. We don't want to do that. We can take it and we can act out and we can hurt other people with our wound, and we don't want to do that either. The key is to find someone who can help you. And for me, it meant getting into recovery. It meant going to a Christian counselor and a therapist and crying a lot. And you'll hear my story as you read through that. Oh, but when freedom came and when I could get through that, it was just a release that I cannot explain to you. But I can tell you that it was worth every difficult and hard moment. Every difficult word that I had to say or express, it was worth it all. It really was. So I'm praying for you, and I'm praying as you read through this chapter that you will begin to work on your own wounds in this way. And you will be able to see women who have been wounded like this, that you will be able to reach out to them. We don't want to fan the flame of bitterness and anger. Women, we can do that. We don't want to do that. We want to embrace. We want to embrace someone, but we don't want to fan the flames. So let's embrace other women who are hurting like this. Let's point them in the right direction, to the Word, to the pastor, to someone who can help them. And if you're wounded and hurting, there is hope, there is hope, and there is freedom. And I know because I've been there. So dive into this chapter, and just want to say thank you again for joining us. And we are always praying for you. Please reach out to us. Dinah and I, we're here to not only talk to you through the website, but also email, send us a note, send us a letter. We want to talk to you. So thanks again, ladies.